Hello, lovely divine light beings. I am Magenta Soul here on Goddess Vibrations, empowering women to find their joy. Today, I want to chat a little bit about daily routines. I think one of the most important things on your spiritual healing journey is finding a routine that works for you. Also, keeping it up daily so that you can continue to grow and heal and find your joy each day. I know for myself as an empath, learning that I'm an empath, it was really important and really pivotal when I realized that I was taking on other people's energy. And then it was even more powerful when I learned what I could do about it. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about my daily routine and how maybe that could fit into your life and help you out as well. So what I like to do, I get up really early. I'm a mother of six, so I have a lot of things happening in my house, and so I've been getting to bed earlier so that I can get up earlier. So my time is, funny enough, I actually wake up around 3 a.m. And that is my time because that is the time when the house is the quietest. And so I think the number one thing that has changed my life and that has helped me as an empath hugely is creating that space to have that quiet time and also meditating. I think I remember when I first started meditating, it was really difficult to quiet my mind. I just felt like I was sitting there for 15 minutes thinking of all my to-do list, and that can be a challenge, definitely. And so there's a lot of different resources out there that on YouTube, different meditations and things that you can use that actually keep your mind busy so it doesn't wander. And so check out some of those. I mean, you can even type in, I really like Abraham Hicks getting into the vortex meditation and that was one of the first ones that I started with because it kept me busy counting my breath. So I think number one, if you're having trouble meditating, set the intention because setting intentions are also very powerful. But set the intention in the morning. I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can. But the fact that you're setting the intention and that you're actually following through, it will get better and better. So, setting the intention, I'm going to meditate, and then just sitting there with the intention of only paying attention to your breath or only paying attention to the air conditioner, whatever it is, one sound. Some people even like to look at something instead. I like to meditate with my eyes closed, but some people look at a flame on a candle and just focus on that. The important thing is to focus on something so that your mind cannot wander. And when it does, because it will, you just turn it back again. Just notice that your mind is wandering and then bring it back to your breath. So sometimes I like to use mantras in my head as I breathe. I like to breathe in for 3 and out for 5, and that's what the Abraham Hicks meditations entail is counting in for 3 and out for 5. I like to also, as I breathe in trust, and I breathe out doubt. And so that kind of keeps me focused on trust and doubt, trust and doubt. And so it's just something to keep your mind busy because what happens when you're meditating and when you keep doing it and when you can actually stop your thought for a minute and focus on something completely different, what happens is you release the resistance, you release the things that you've been holding on to. And so that gives your mind a break and it's almost like a reset button. So it's the same as if you went and took a nap too. I mean, meditation can be a reset. Also taking a nap can be. Have you ever felt really bad and then went and took a nap and afterwards you feel differently about the situation than you did if you were, let's say you had a fight with somebody. So and it's actually that's what happens when you go to sleep at night is it's like a reset button. So when you wake up in the morning and let's say at night you had a fight with someone and you went to bed and you were angry and you did nothing about it, you just went right to sleep because you were so mad, you just went to bed. Well, unfortunately, you're going to wake up in that same vibration because we are all vibrational beings. We are all frequency. We're all like little radio transmitters. And so, unless you do something to change that before you go to sleep, you're going to wake up, chances are, in that same vibrational frequency. So, when you wake up, you can change that right away. You can, like I said, when you first wake up, lay in your bed and think about 5 things that you appreciate. The cool thing is that you can't have the same frequency of anger and appreciation at the same time. So that's why appreciation is so powerful. And so right away when you wake up, if you catch yourself before you even move out of your bed to go to the bathroom, think of what you're grateful for. Set the intention to release what no longer serves. And then go into your meditation and do it for 15 minutes, just releasing all thought, just quieting your mind. And I must admit, it took me a while before I could actually quiet my mind and release. But when you keep at it, it's actually been studied that it changes your brain. And so keep at it, keep doing it. Meditation is so powerful and so very good for you in so many ways. Like I said, check out the research online about what meditation can do for you. It's phenomenal. So that's my number one thing, meditation. So if you aren't already meditating, or if you're struggling with meditating, keep it up. Just keep going, and before you know it, you'll start to see the results. The other thing that I strongly recommend, and that changed my life once I started doing it on a regular basis, and you can't just dabble, the more consistent you are in these things, the more it changes your life. So it's up to you how much you want to change your life. But the other piece is learning to set a bubble around myself in the morning. So I have always been very, very sensitive, and I didn't know that I was an empath. When I was a child, I had an experience that really scared me. And so I kind of slammed the door on any of my abilities, my clairs, because I was scared. I was actually at a friend's house spending the night at the age of 12, and got really scared of whatever it was I saw there. Her family, her dad was a really heavy drinker. He was down in the living room, surrounded in beer cans, and, the vibration of that house. And then something I saw scared me. So I actually ended up going home that night in the middle of the night, hyperventilating, crying, having my folks pick me up at 3 a.m, wondering what the heck was that. And, having my friend was confused. Why do you have to leave? And I said, well, I just have to leave. And I told her at the time, I made the excuse. I said, I'm homesick. Well, years later, I'm 43 now. I realized that was a time that I slammed the door on my abilities. I was obviously scared by something. And so, anyways, long story short, I realized in my adult life now that I am an empath, and that I've been taking on people's energy. And I always wondered why I could actually feel the pain of my children. Like if they get hurt, I literally feel it in my body. So if you have some of these similar things, or people will say, oh, you're so sensitive. I feel like if I have a tag on me, or if I have a hair on me, or if something's in my shoe, like I'm uber sensitive to it. I always have been, and emotionally sensitive. And so when I'm in a situation of a big crowd, or even a family gathering, I feel like if someone's in a bad mood, I end up feeling it strongly, but I never really realized that. And so it was a huge realization and a huge help to learn what to do about that. So since I started bubbling myself in the morning, it has been phenomenal. I will not go a day without bubbling before. That will be if I don't even put makeup on in the morning, which I do, usually, I will do a bubble over makeup. I will do bubbling over coffee, which is pretty huge because I love coffee. But which is another thing, we'll talk about that later, about foods and stuff and raising your vibration. But so the biggest thing about bubbling yourself is setting the intention to set a bubble around yourself, a bubble of light. And so everyone has an aura around yourself, and you can actually grow your light just by thinking of your heart growing light out from inside of it. It's really simple. In fact, in my Reiki class, I'm also a Reiki practitioner. my teacher did a little example of just how far out our bodies are. You think of just your physical body just as your body, but you have many layers out from you and around you that are actually your energetic body. And so what she did is she took some dowsing rods, like for water. So she had two dowsing sticks, and she was holding them out and pointing them at me, and she was across the room, and she said, "Katie, Ketri, walk towards me." And so I walked about halfway across the room, and the dowsing sticks moved out to the side when it hit my energy field. And that was like 5 or 6 feet out from my body. And so that was a really good illustration of just how far out you actually are. You're not just your physical meat suit here per se. So and then the second time we did this exercise, she had me go back across the room, and she had another person who was over on the side. I was going to walk towards her again, and she had the dowsing sticks out, and she had the other person have a negative thought. And so she said, "Okay, you, Chris, over there, you have a negative thought." No, I'm just using a name. Have a negative thought while Katri walks towards me. And so again, I start walking towards her, and the dowsing stick stayed pointing straight this time. So last time when I walked towards her and my energy field hit her, they both went pointed out to the sides because it was like bumping into my energy field. This time, because Chris over there was having a negative thought, it was blocking my energy field. So that's just a tiny example of some of the things that I'm going to be teaching on this channel to empower you, to let you know that this is not all there is, that we are non-physical beings having a physical experience. We are here to experience these physical bodies, but that everything that we do affects our bodies, and including our thoughts. And so I'm going to go back to bubbling, but so what I learned is setting the intention to bubble yourself in the morning, imagining a ball of light in your hands, imagining it going over your head, and then drawing your arm around your body, both of your arms around your body, setting that intention in visualizing making a bubble of light around your body. I also like to add crystals into it in my mind. So again, this seems silly because it's kind of all like you just making this up in your head, but this is all it is, because our thoughts create our reality, and our thoughts are very powerful. And so just setting that intention, opening your heart, growing your light, and then imagining a bubble of light around your body for the day. I say a little prayer. Thank you for this light around my body to protect me. I add shungite and tempered glass and gold, and then I seal it up with a clap, and away I go. I set the intention that it will stay with me the whole day. I have been known to bubble again in a day if I feel like I need it, but that simple act of getting up, appreciating, many acts, 3 acts, but I mean, these are small things, and this is not very much time in your day. Before you even get out of bed, appreciating, meditating, and then setting that bubble around yourself is been just a phenomenal change in my life when I started doing that consistently. So those are 3 things that I wanted to start with as far as routine goes in the morning, and ways to just, if you're like me, really sensitive, to make your life better in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think we're going to leave it right there, and I'll come back with some more. But those are the main 3 tips that I had on starting your morning routine, your spiritual morning routine that will heal and empower you daily. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you here soon. Love and light.